Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, thank you for joining me. I'm Katie, it's HIMI Horoscope, and I do believe we're on Aries now. So I've noticed I've had quite a few new subscribers, and I just want to welcome you to the channel, and just to say not only thanks to the new subscribers, if I can get my words out, I just want to say thank you to everyone who's subscribed and shown the support. It really does mean a lot to me, and if you're a bit of a lurker and you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, why not do it? We're kind of all stuck in at the moment, so you might as well hit that button, get alerts when there's a new video out, and hopefully I'll help you pass the time a little bit. Anyway, let's get talking about the painting, shall we? So, this month's star sign is Aries, and Aries is represented by a ram, I believe. So it was quite a challenge turning one creature into another without losing any of the components that make it the original creature. Are you still following me? Basically, I had to turn a ram into a dragon, but still make it look like a bit of a ram. Now does that make sense? So, with the idea behind the initial sketch, obviously we're at the painting stage now, but I sketched a few out and came to a conclusion that the best way to represent Aries, or the ram, would be to add horns, like you'd see on a ram, and perhaps to emphasise a bit of a fleece but without covering it in wool. I thought using clouds. I thought clouds would be a great representation. It was quite tricky trying to find that balance though, because some of my sketches it looked a bit too sheepish, and some of the other sketches they looked a little bit too dragony, so it was quite hard to find a balance and of course make it fit onto the square format that I seem to have set up for myself. However, I'm pretty pleased with the design. It was hard to do, and I also introduced a new colour palette because I've mostly been focusing on sort of blues and teals and purples, and with Aries being a fire sign, I had to incorporate some of that fire in there. Now, as I've just mentioned, mostly blues, purples and teals. I haven't used very many of these earthy warm tones at the full strength. I've used white paint with them and made them a little bit more pastel-y, and that'll be on the succulent dragon I did a while back. But as far as using them neat or at the full pigment, it did throw a few challenges, if I'll be honest, and I didn't find the opacity of this paint quite as opaque as I thought. Don't get me wrong, I still love these paints, and I'm actually getting to a stage where I'm thinking I might have to buy another set at some point, not soon, but if I want to continue doing the horoscope, then I might have to buy another set just so I can complete it, because some of the colours are burning down. But yes, it was just a little bit tricky to find that sweet consistency where it would attach to the surface nicely but not be too transparent, because I do like using gouache in its thick, neat state. And I think that kind of stems back to like the days when I used to use acrylic paints a lot, and I haven't got anything against acrylics, but I really don't think they suit my style. They don't lie flat enough. Maybe I just don't buy expensive enough ones, but to be honest, I'm not wanting to invest in something I'm that much into. Does that make sense? Can you relate to that? So obviously I want to use my gouache like I would an acrylic, or maybe an oil paint actually, but flat and not too much shading or too many tonal differentiations. I just want it to look flat a little bit anyway. So I found it quite difficult doing that with some of the colours. So the yellow did seem to be quite transparent. It was quite difficult to apply to where it wouldn't be too buttery on the paper, because I still wanted to work into it, but I didn't want it too runny either where I'd have to add several coats. It was tricky, but I got there in the end. I decided to make the clouds a yellow colour because complements the dragon, and it's also a nice contrast to the bluey purpley background, so the orange and yellow clouds against that starry, well, that night sky background colour. I think that hits a really nice, I don't know, I just think that it's a hit with me, is what I'm trying to say. And to fill in the background behind the dragon, I thought I'd use this really nice magenta just to tie it all in. So it's sort of like a transition between the purpley blue, and then it goes to magenta, and then it goes to red. I just sort of wanted to add that there, and I think it adds quite a nice balance, and it's just a nice little pop of colour. As I usually do, I just added dots in for the scales and just added different gradients of colour there. But the hardest thing about this was these clouds. They took ages. I wasn't quite happy with the outline on some of them, and then some of the colours didn't quite stand out, and then some of the colours were too similar to the dragon, or it was really hard using these colours. And again, it's not really a colour palette I use all that often at the moment, so it was a good challenge for me. I actually thought for 1 minute doing this I'd completely messed it up, which is really bad when you've put a lot of work into something. So I decided to make the dragon's horns the same colour as the ridges going along its back. No, that was a big mistake. That was really, it looked awful, and I was starting to think, oh, I'm going to have to start this all again. And yeah, it probably might not have taken as long to redo it, but it wouldn't have been the same. And yeah, I was just really hoping that I wouldn't have to go through this again, because if you watched my last HIMI horoscope, I had to redo the whole thing because it just wasn't working. So I just calmly waited for it to dry, and I ended up going over it again. And I just thought, I'll come back to that. That's just one area I can fix. I'm going to see if I can fix it before giving up on it. Just to add a bit of a fiery touch to those dorsal ridges, that's very technical, isn't it? But to its ridges along the back, I added a sort of more of an orangey red tone in there, and I really like that. That just gives a nice sense of fire. And then I started to outline everything, and again at this point I was thinking, these horns look even worse. It's just too much. It just throws the painting off balance. So again, I just calmly carried on with the picture. I just thought, let's do all the bits I'm certain about, and then come back to this uncertain area, because it's good to just take a step back from a particular part of your painting that's stressing you out, and then coming back to fresh eyes. However, I'm not going to lie though, I was getting a bit stressed out about it, so I just painted them in with a bit more of a muted tone off camera, because I really was getting stressed, and I'm a lot happier with it. And that just meant I could add them details in now and them finishing touches without thinking I'd ruined the piece, and I'm really happy with how it came out. It took a lot longer than the other ones, and again, the whole design behind it and the getting to know the paint, we'll say, that was all part of this longer than usual process. Goodness knows how I'm going to do next month. That's Taurus, that's another hooved animal, but I've got an idea for that, so hopefully that won't be too bad. Anyway, I really hope you have enjoyed this video, and I've really enjoyed doing these horoscopes, so I'm really looking forward to next month's one. Even though I'm a bit stressed about it, I still am looking forward to it. I just want to wish all of you lovely Aries out there a very happy birthday, especially in these weird times we're going through at the moment. I really just hope that these videos, I can't really do much with what's going on, but I at least hope these videos are at least entertaining you for a good 10 minutes and helping you pass the time. If you have enjoyed this video, I'd really appreciate you hitting that thumbs up button, just letting me know, or drop something in the comments just to let me know you're okay. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Honestly, it means the world to me when you do it. It really helps the channel, it helps me grow as an artist as well, and it makes sure you don't miss out on any future videos. Anyway, speaking of future videos, that's when I'll see you next. Take care, guys. Bye.